The following video features an interview with the Site Center's Andrea Marley. It also features pictures of various guide dogs throughout the decades that have come through the Site Center's doors.
So the process of getting a guide dog is a little more complicated than most people might think. You might think that you could just get any old dog and slap a vest on it and make it work, but um, uh, that definitely is not all that goes into getting a guide dog. In most cases, a guide dog will be bred and raised at a guide dog school, and the guide dog schools are located all over the United States. And typically, they are placed with a puppy raiser family until they're about a year old, and then they'll come back to the guide dog school, go through a in for training test where they have to, pass all the distractions and loud noises, and see how they'll, do with obedience. And then if they pass that, then they go into harness training for a few months. And then by about a year and a half old, then they're matched with a handler such as myself. The handlers can either go through residential training at the guide dog school if the school provides residential training, where you go to the school and stay in a dorm room and you live in your room with your dog and take care of your dog on a daily basis for a few weeks. Or they have home training if you need home training, where the trainer will bring a dog out to you and then work with you, or, revolving around your work schedule. The first time I went to the guide dog school, I was there for about 4 weeks. So 6 a.m. until 9 p.m. we were on the move doing stuff. And the second time I went, I was there for 3 weeks. And when I go back after retiring my current dog, Lee, I will probably be there for 2 weeks because that's what their current training program is like. Obviously, when a dog is wearing their harness or their work clothes, they are typically the ones that are seeing everything and in charge of where they're going. But the handler has to know where they're going first. So, I have to be a good, road traveler. I have to be able to use my cane. I have to be able to safely cross streets, analyze traffic patterns. Because if I can't do that myself, then I definitely would not be able to do it with a dog. So typically, when you apply to a guide dog school, they first do a phone interview, and they will call you and ask you a bunch of questions. Then if you pass the phone interview, then you will typically have a home interview scheduled, and then they'll take you out for about a 15-minute route where they watch you either blindfolded if you have some residual vision, or they will, just have you, walk the route using your cane. As you're walking the route with your cane, they'll videotape you from maybe 5 or 10 feet behind, just to analyze how you're doing with, navigating your environment and crossing streets safely and all those good things. And then once you've reached your destination, then they'll kind of reverse the route and they'll do an empty harness walk, basically, to see how fast you like to walk and how hard you want the dog to pull and how tall you are and all those good things. Once you get to the guide dog school, you end up using a whole bunch of hand signals and obedience commands and verbal commands. So I definitely have to know where I'm going. If it's a good match, then you work really well with your dog, and your dog responds well to you and follows all kinds of commands.